Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to the channel. And today what we're going to talk about, look at my little Buddha in the background, so peaceful. Anyway, what we're going to talk about. So today we are going to talk about expectations. And the expectations that people tend to get from meditation, from healing journeys, from Reiki sessions, from crystals. There's so many different expectations that people put onto things, and many times people expect sort of an overnight or immediate result or response from that energetic thing. But first off, we need to understand energy and what energy is and how it works with us. So we'll talk about that for a little bit, and then we'll go into the expectation side of things. So I will try to stay on course with what this video is going to be about, because you know what I'm like, I sometimes go on a little bit of a tangent. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to write a note saying expectations, and I'll underline it so I don't forget. So right, here we go. So today on my social media feed, what I posted a post about the Reiki principles, the 5 Reiki principles. And you're probably thinking, where we're going with this isn't anything to do with energy. This is where you're absolutely wrong, because everything is energy. So the 5 Reiki principles is just for today, and you take this into each and every other day. So just for today, and then tomorrow it will be just for today. And these are kind of like Buddhist. This is a Buddhist thing from Mikao Usui. This is his 5 Reiki principles and his Reiki teachings for each student. So just for today, let go of worry. The second one, just for today, let go of anger. The third one is, just for today, be grateful for your many blessings. The fourth one is, just for today, do your work honestly. And the fifth one is, just for today, be kind to every living thing. So you're probably thinking, so what's that got to do with energy? So let's just take the first one, for example. The first principle, just for today, let go of worry. So what is worry? Worry is where we take ourselves out of the present moment, and we are thinking so much about the what ifs, the what coulds, what about, and we're taking ourselves into totally different situations, taking ourselves out of the present moment, which can create anguish, anxiety, lots of emotional stuff, and all of these things that you are creating in just one instance. So if you're thinking about worry, if you're worrying about, I don't know, let's take for instance, maybe, I don't know, maybe a dentist appointment or a doctor's appointment. That's usually a thing that a lot of people worry about, going to the doctors. Well, these days it's actually getting an appointment to see a freaking doctor. But yeah, let's just put this, calm down, put this back into context. So a doctor's appointment, dentist appointment, whatever sort of appointment that will take you out of your presence, and you will start to think, right, well, I've got this appointment coming up, I'm going to see, I'm a little bit worried about this, or I'm a little bit concerned about that, and that's what I'm going to see this person for. Or maybe it's something to do with the tooth, maybe it's a filling or some sort of dental procedure that needs to happen. I'm really, really worried about this. And what you're doing is you're creating this inner turmoil, this conflict, and it's the mind and body connection. So when you start thinking all this stuff, what happens to your body? You start feeling things in your stomach. You might start having a racing heart. You might start getting a bit panicky. Maybe your fingers will start to tingle from anxiety, from panic attacks, things like that. You may start to get really, really cold feet because all your energy is like here in this situation because you've created so much worry. And there is a lot of different degrees of worry. So that's kind of like the extreme end factor of worry is where you're going into some sort of attack or panic attack, anxiety attack, whatever it may be, or full-blown anxiety where your minds are just swirling, and that one situation which is a week ahead, 2 days ahead, however long ahead, is taking you out of the now. So if you are in the now, the present, and your appointment of whatever it may be is a week away, then that's a week away. So there's no need to worry about it. But even when you get to the appointment and you're sitting in the waiting room, nothing's been said. You're in the waiting room and nothing's happening. So you're in the now. So you're not pulling yourself once again out of the situation and into the what ifs, the what could be's, the howevers, all that sort of stuff, the mind play that goes on in the background. And I know this isn't easy. I know it isn't easy, and I've been there. I've done that. I've lived that, and still do occasionally, but nowhere near as much as what I used to. And this is why I now can understand and feel and can reiterate these words coming from my truth of what I have experienced for anyone that may be in the same situation, the same boat. So we've taken that one thing, we've taken worry. So worry leaves this impression on the body. It leaves this, upset stomach, diarrhea, sickness, indigestion, heart palpitations, racing heart, maybe a bit sweaty, maybe you get hot, maybe you get cold, maybe you get tingly. So you've got this mind-body connection, which is all created by this one energy. So the worry is an energy. It is a vibration, and it is a low vibration. And when you're in a low vibration, you're in a low vibrational state, you're more prone to become physically ill, mentally ill, spiritually ill. You're more prone to have things affect you in a spiritual way, in a spiritual setting. You're more prone to negative energies that can latch on because you're in a lower vibrational state. When you're in a higher vibrational state, it's a lot harder for them to do that because you're on a high frequency. You're way above this low energy, and you're out of that. And when you're in a higher vibrational state, it's easier for you to come into the now, to come into your presence, to come into that space, and to connect to higher vibrational energies that you need to connect with to keep you on this higher vibrational life. So that is just one element. We can go through all of them. We can go through the anger. We can go through the gratitude is a higher vibration. Being grateful for your many blessings. And doing your work honestly is about being high vibrational. Because if you work honestly, you're doing your work to the best of your ability. Yes, there is always people that will not work to your standard. There may be people that will work above your standard, but you do your work honestly with integrity, and you put your love into that work, and that's all you can do. And there's no point worrying about it, and there's no point getting angry about it, because just for today you need to let go of these elements of lower vibrational feelings and energies. So that is kind of just one emotion, one feeling, this worry. So that is kind of touching on energy. Like I say, everything is energy. So if you're in a higher, if you go into a room, this is a for instance, if you go into a room and maybe all those people in the room are, you know, if you go into a room where there's just been a fight, or you go into a room where there's just been an argument, you can feel it. You can feel the energy, and they say you can cut the tension with a knife, because you can feel it. We're all on that empathic level, so we can feel that empathic energy, and we can feel that empathically, and we can tune into it. And it doesn't feel nice. It feels heavy. It feels dense, and that's exactly what we mean about like lower vibrational energy and how it can affect you. So that's just like a little, for instance, to do with energy and what it is and how we can work with it. So the other side of the coin is, this video is about expectations. So if you think, so maybe you've got to, I don't know what, I'm 42, so maybe I've lived my life and just done this, that and the other, and not had any inkling contextual idea of healing, of energy work, of any sort of this thing, which when I got to about however old I was, 29, 30, whatever it was, I didn't have any idea about any of this. You know, I was guided towards meditation, and that changed my perception on so many different levels and helped me on my healing path. So if you lived a life for say 40 years and you've always been in the vibration of fear, of worry, of I don't know, anger, of distress, of despair, of anxiety, of mental health, of depression, of fear, all of these things, which, by the way, the world likes to throw at us, because if everybody is in a lower vibrational place, then they're a lot easier to manipulate, because they can't think clearly, because they're not on a good vibration and not healthy within themselves, because they're too busy worrying about this, about that, about a cold, about a war, or about whatever it may be. And so for this to happen globally is a big thing for a lot of people, and we're all connected, so we can all feel this energy around the earth and around the planet within the collective. But if you've lived all your life, however many years, in these vibrations and within these conditions, it's going to take you a long time to turn a corner on your healing journey. So when you go to a practitioner of whatever healing modality that may be, it's not going to be an overnight fix. And it's exactly the same with meditation. And we should never put an expectation. We should never think, oh, well, after this meditation, and a practitioner should never say, right, after this session, you're going to be this. Because one, it's more about you and your subconscious and your higher self that are doing a lot of the healing. Energetically, yes, we can help and we can manipulate and help things flow and remove anything that's no longer serving you. Yeah, we can do all that. And we can let you know what we've done, and you may feel the effects of that for a few days after a healing session. You may feel a little bit out of sorts. You may feel really good. You may feel really emotional, because all this stuff has been released, which you've been hanging on to for so many years. So if all this stuff has been there with you for 10, 15, 20, however many years, you've been so used to having that energy around you and living within that vibration of that energy that when it starts to be lifted and moved away, things need to be released along with it. So physically, you're going to feel that, and you're going to experience that however you need to physically within your body, and layer by layer it will release things that will eventually remove whatever burden it may be that you're wanting to have the healing for, whether it's meditation, whether it's Reiki, whatever form of healing modality. So there should never be an expectation. We can, as a healer, I will give people an inkling of possibly how many sessions they may need to start feeling the effects, but I can't say to them, I won't be able to say to them, right, after 4 sessions that'll be resolved and that'll be sorted, because healing is, and I've done a video about this before, I've done a video about the difference between healing and curing, and they are two totally different things. And healing is a journey of understanding yourself, understanding how you behave, how you react, what makes you trigger, understanding your shadow, understanding the balance between your ego and your shadow, understanding so many different things in life of what makes you react, how you behave, what you do, and it's kind of like going into a lot of analysis within yourself and within you, and that's what healing is about. Curing is a totally different thing, and you will eventually come to a point where you will be close to a cure, or you will cure a situation. And medication and holistic therapies go really, really well hand in hand. There is a time for medication, and there is a time for healing. These are 2 totally different things. So when we're talking in the context of energy, if we can remain in a good vibrational place for as long as possible, and it doesn't mean that you have to always walk around with a grin on your face and being absolutely tip top, because none of us are like that. We all have days where we'll feel a little bit low, we won't be on par, we won't be vibrating at such a high frequency all the time. We will always be going up and down, but that is life. But it's, again, part of the healing journey is understanding the contexts of life and being present with it and understanding it, and understanding why we behave this way, why we do this, why we react to certain situations, and certain situations create reactions within us. And usually when there is a trigger or a reaction within us, there's something there that needs healing. So there's a trauma that's happened within your life, or maybe in past lives, that has had an effect on you energetically, which is then, because of this understanding now from talking about the worry, that we understand that this vibration of worry that can affect our mind, it can affect our body, but it also affects our soul, our energy, our essence. So it affects every part of you, and that is what healing is all about. It's all about healing every aspect of mind, body and spirit. Mind, body, emotion, spirit. So normally when we look towards medication, what medication will do is it will cover up, it will remove the symptoms. but it won't actually heal the underlying issue. It may alleviate pain, which is good. It may do this, it may do that, it may do certain things within you and within your life that will help to maybe alleviate. For instance, I was on antidepressants, anti-anxiety, and beta blockers, for meditation, for depression, for anxiety, and for panic attacks. And so I was on that medication for a while, but then it got to a point where I just knew that medication was no longer benefiting me, and my life was changing, and I had to adapt, and I had to change my life for the better to suit the circumstances of what I was feeling, of what I was going through, and understand that change needed to happen. And sometimes people don't want to change. People don't want to look at themselves and see what is going on within their life to warrant this change, to make this move of direction into a different way of life, because people become so ingrained into one aspect of life, of existence. So many people are just ingrained in the work, sleep, repeat attitude of life, when there is so much more to it, and so much more deeper meaning to life, and deeper meaning within us as well on this journey. And it doesn't mean that we have to be constantly in a place of meditation or of healing, even though we are constantly healing anyway. But as we move through life, just being present has an amazing effect for your healing, because being present means you are actually living in the now. You are in the now. You're in your presence, and there's so many different layers and levels you can go through with being present. But just being in the now and understanding that there is no past, there is no future, and you don't even have to sit in deep meditation and focus on your breath. You can just be. And whatever you do, whether you're at work, whatever you do, the situation, every moment is a present moment, and whatever you do within that present moment is done with honesty, with integrity, with respect, all for that present moment, because there is nothing else. There is no past, there is no future, there is only now, which is now, nothing more. And when you start to align with that energy, and you start to tune into the presence, your awareness, your connection to your oneness, then it does make life a lot easier, and it almost makes things slow down a little bit, because you kind of step away from the rat race of all this. So in that scene of The Matrix where Neo and Lawrence Fishburne, I can't remember his bloody name, the other guy, Morpheus, that's the one. They're walking down the street and they're talking about the Matrix, and there's all these people in black and white hustling and bustling. It's really, really busy, and they're just kind of gently strolling through this busy urban highway of people and situations, but they're just being present with it, and they're talking about the situation, where they are, what's going on, and life in general, and how it all likes to take us out of the now, of the understanding of who we really are and what we're really doing here. And it's not about living 9 to 5, eat, sleep, repeat. There is so much more to it. And when you discover a path of healing, of meditation, and not having expectations, then it really does start to make a big change in things. Because once you no longer have expectations, you're no longer thinking of the future. You're no longer thinking of a future self, of life. Although you can look forward to things that may be coming up in the future, exciting possibilities, holidays, events that may be something that you are looking forward to. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's also being present with the emotion of that feeling of enjoyment of what may be ahead. So it's the same with meditation and with healing. If we don't have any expectations and we just stay within the present moment, within our journey as we move along our path, whichever way it may go, then we can really feel and understand that it is going in the right direction, and what we're feeling, what we're experiencing, what we're going through within that present moment is meant and it's needed. And we then take away the expectation of what we think mentally should be happening, what we think mentally is going to be the end result. It could be so different. So you remain present with it on that journey to the end goal. But there will never be an end goal, because we're constantly evolving, awakening, ascending and healing. So it is a constant journey, a beautiful journey. So that's just a few thoughts about energy, how it can affect us mind, body and spirit, and how we should have no expectations. And when we come to a path of healing, of true discovery, then we're halfway there. We're halfway there, and we're starting to understand, and we're starting to appreciate and feel much more within our lives. So I hope this makes sense to somebody. It made sense to me while I was talking it, so I hope it makes sense to you. Have no expectations, and your journey will be absolutely amazing, and it will be fitting for you. It'll be ideally fitting for you every step of the way, every single present moment. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, don't forget to comment below, let me know, give me a bing, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to also hit that subscribe button down there to keep up to date with my content. Okie dokie guys, so nearly half an hour in. Much love to you all. Thank you for staying this long if you have. If you haven't, thank you also for just clicking on this video to watch however much you wanted of it. So take care of yourselves, much love, bye for now. Bye!